Well, rain sodden the day before the Chelmsford Stakes, but anyway, RacingRant is covering Randwick tomorrow, and we've lost Glenn because he's gone to Wyong. Hopefully he gets a meeting in, but it's looking a bit dicey at the moment. Wyong down to a heavy 9, and
well, hopefully he gets back alive. The way he drives in this wet weather, it's got to be a risk, doesn't it?
What are you talking about? You're always going on about how badly people drive in wet weather. Oh, you mean someone else is going to do him in? No, he's too good a driver. Anyway, obviously Mounting Yard Mail is up tomorrow. There's a couple of other very important things to note about tomorrow. We start our Hong Kong season, and we've got the Hong Kong Guru online, and he'll have a set for Hong Kong tomorrow. You can read his early thoughts about the season on the site, and you can also purchase tomorrow's Hong Kong set. So it's tomorrow Hong Kong because Sunday there is an election. And the other thing to note, Gord, is that our Melbourne man, what's his name? Mick's Melbourne Mail, debuts officially tomorrow, and tomorrow is free. Now, plenty of people have already emailed in to say, please send me the free set, and you can add your email address to theirs and get the free set tomorrow. There's also 3 back issues on the site that you may want to have a look at to see what it's all about. So, Melbourne Mail starting tomorrow, Hong Kong for sale tomorrow. But meanwhile, we've got a jinxed Randwick Chelmsford Stakes day. The weather will be alright tomorrow, but the damage is done today with the rain. And we're clearly racing on a heavy surface, rail at 6 metres. I don't have a problem with the inside at 6 metres, but I'd prefer to be drawn middle or wide to get there. But look, it's probably not a bad rail position to run this meeting on.
So it'll go up heavy 10 tomorrow morning and
no, it's got to go heavy. Right? It's got to go heavy 9 because otherwise wings will get scratched.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway, look, it's what that's what we're dealt with. Okay, race 1, a mile race, and signposted with esteemed connections, but 3 wins on the trot is $2.80. So Willie. Never far off a win, but not winning too many. $3.90. $8.50 is Zayam. What else have we got there? $12 Take Wing, $14 DIC, $15 Bowlord. And sorry, I should mention the third pick in the race is Salthouse, having his second Australian start at $7. I had the roughie, Oso Splendido, who ran in the Derby. I had him on the speed here, second up from a spell, but obviously signposted will look for the lead and probably can have it. Gord, this is kicking you off strongly here, 1600.
I know.
Look, by the way, we've got an email on the for the rant that we'll read out on Monday, giving Gord heaps about his lack of guts.
Well, what did I say on Wednesday? Lay Paragon.
There you
That
go.
was some sort of information, wasn't it?
Great result. Long last.
I didn't bet in the race, but look, I'm not keen on this first race. Obviously, the one that did pique my interest slightly was number 1 signposted. Heavy 2 from 2, in form, back to 1600 metres off a freshen up. And not only does it like the wet, but it's also got fitness on its side as well. So I'm half interested in signposted, but we'll be doing very little in the first race.
So what about the connected horse, So Willie? Bowman gets on board.
So Willie, whenever it goes round, is always a lay for me. It's got that terrible win percentage rate. I can see it sets up perfectly here and comes out of that Jubayan style race. Does like the wet, has the booking of H. Bowman. There are quite a few positives there, but it's a non-winner for me. So I'll.
Gee, I thought it was a very good run the other day, super run the other day.
There's nothing wrong with recent form, but
carried Rory the last 4 starts, and obviously Bowman is significant tomorrow.
But it's So Willie.
Oh look, people will get out the track and people will say, well, signposted is John Thompson. There's plenty of people that don't like John Thompson.
Well, I think he's a fantastic trainer.
Yeah, but you're poking around out wide there. I think he's he's a little more reliable out wide. Look, signposted has done the job at Canterbury. Funnily enough, I haven't seen a horse. I haven't done the form on a horse that's led so many starts consecutively as this horse has led. but only one run at a mile in the last 6 starts. So look, he's found a weak race. He's going to be there. He's all of those things. Price. The horse I want to mention in the race is Ziam, who was an excellent run 2 starts back and then put to the sword in a brutal race won by Esteban. He's had a freshen up and his trial was particularly good. So look,
Not much of a first race.
It's not much of a first race. Salthouse appeared to do very little on debut in Australia, and he's sort of there on sufferance. We'll perhaps move on. Race 2, over 2,000 metres this time. Dubai in Style, the new winning version of Dubai in Style, $2.65. $4.40 Lanciato, $8 is Dowdston Charlie, 11 is Rainbow Park on the back up from Wyong last Sunday, 13 is Dewar, 12 Thunder Down Under. We'll lose slow pace, I think, unless Wyong gets put off today. 0 to 10 is $15, Settle a Future 21. Deanne's on a leader here, 0 to 10, steps up to the 2,000 for the first time, and I think we can mark him, pencil him in as the leader. Lanciato should be handy tomorrow, and Dubai in Style will obviously be handy. I had those two just astern of the leader, and obviously that sets up reasonably well for them. Come on, Gord, you've got to have an opinion this time. What are we laying?
$33.
Oh no, what are we laying? Come on.
I'm actually going to tip Dubai in Style only because you're forcing me to have an opinion. It's fit, it's in winning form, it likes the wet, and when you've got a low winning percentage rate but you've actually won your last 2 starts, you can forgive that percentage failure. So that's another little pearl of mine.
System bet.
Yeah, so it is a system bet, but obviously send your $33 to RacingRant.com.au.
That's right, it's all in here, we share. Look, what can I say about this race? Dubai in Style is now well exposed. I mean, he won his race at 2 starts back, had plenty of momentum out of that run, backed up to fight off Firebird Flyer last time. He's there. I wouldn't back him. Lanciato is, I don't know what to make of this horse, but being Kiwi bred, I'd certainly entertain him up to 2,000. And the other one is Thunder Down Under, who is another Kiwi that gets the blinkers back on. And Kobe Jennings last time, they weren't that interested in the stable. I think they could be a little bit more serious tomorrow. Dowdston Charlie seems short here. And Rainbow Park is a horse of interest, but as...
Dowdston Charlie is just always found in wet weather, isn't it?
Anyway, it's your stable, Gord. You've got to say something about this horse because the connections of this horse want you to say something.
It's got no chance.
Right, race 3 is a bit more interesting. It's the Ming Dynasty.
Probably because it's a distance race, that might make it a bet. So I'm saying nothing.
Jesus, Dowdston Charlie. I've never seen a horse go to win a race last time and just not do it. The race 3, the Ming Dynasty over 1,400 for 3-year-olds, obviously. And Taj Mahal is our favourite at $3.50. High Mist, $4.20. Swear, resuming at $4.60. Skylight Glow, resuming $7.50. And down the bottom, a bit dusty, is $7. Argentina 12, Shazy Lee, with James McDonald, $15. Skylight Glow is resuming here, but looks the leader. And as far as the others on speed, I guess a bit dusty, Posse's up. Argentina doesn't have to be far away, and Taj Mahal will be a little closer than he was in a more quickly run race last time. Okay, you must be excited now.
Come Mahal? On. Yeah. Look, I backed it last start. I've got an opinion of this horse. I didn't think...
It wasn't wanted, was it?
No, it wasn't wanted last start, but it wasn't too bad of a run really, and I think a far higher standard race. The other horses that might have a little bit of ability in this race are first up, so first up on a heavy track is obviously a question mark, so it's got a slight fitness edge on the other horses that might have similar class to it. So I've got 2 Taj Mahal on top, but I get scared about taking short prices on heavy tracks.
Yeah, so what price do you want then? Just nominate a price. Assuming the field, obviously.
$4.
Alright, look, he...
I might take $3.50.
Yeah, well, he did need the hit out the other day. I wasn't totally convinced, but I had him on top as well. Skylight Glow seems to be out of the market. I mean, they obviously clearly they did the same with Prized Icon a fortnight ago. They seem to be very clued in with that stable. But Swear I'd have to be against. I don't have much luck with the Hawks horses. They get under my guard, but I did back this horse on debut at Hawkesbury. I thought he won a bodgy race. High Mist went very well at home at Rose Hill last time, but I suspect that form is hollow. So I would be looking at something more like Argentina, who
has absolutely no chance on a wet track.
Well, the stable will decide its fate there tomorrow, but Gord's Weight in there has no chance on a wet track. It did resume in the heavy.
I know it resumed on the heavy, but it didn't look like it handled it to me. And then
at Canterbury, which has been playing very bodgily.
Yeah, very bodgily, but I just think, like, I know a pretty smart judge found it last start at Kembla because it was from heavy onto a good track.
But shall we mention her name?
No, are we allowed to?
No, we can't say.
Yeah, a fan of the show, anyway.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Jesus. I wouldn't be too secure in that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm giving it none on that basis.
All right, so be wary, Gord, of horses out of the market on heavy tracks, because it's one of those. Look, it's one of those areas of the it's one of those situations where you're better off opposing a group of horses at 3-1 than 12-1 on wet tracks.
Yeah,
I know that people get very binary about it, but
I'm a favourite or in the market better, and I always reduce my bets on heavy tracks. But,
well, yeah, I think you obviously the short end of the market just gets a little trickier most of the time. Right, our highway this time over 1400 sees Galaxy Warrior return at $3.10 and favourite. $7.50 is Abdullah Guns Ride Assurity. $8 is Luxury. Aren't we sick of it? $9.50 Squid and Squares, Nowhere to Hold 'em. $11 Grand Rouge. $15 Trying Long Odds the rest. Looks a competitive race. Obviously, with B. McDougall on board, I expect Galaxy Warrior to be right up on the speed. I had Vela Long Chick going forward from a wide gate. Grand Rouge not far away. He's very one-paced. Nowhere to Hold 'em's got a really interesting barrier change tomorrow. Looked like it was just looked uncomfortable there along the inside there at Rose Hill, and gets out to a barrier where it could participate far more easily. And there's lots of bits and bobs to go forward here. It promises to be an honestly run race, but as Glenn pointed out, winners seem to come from last or lead all the way in these races. Righto, Gord, any opinion of this favourite?
Yeah, it's clearly the best horse in the race. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be backing it yet because it's a question mark on the wet track. And the other ones I'm interested in are just ones with a little bit of sort of wet track form. So I've got Trying, Assurity, and the other one I had a second look at was Nowhere to Hold 'em, but then I penned Nowhere to Hold 'em because I don't like the fact that it's actually 1400 metres on a wet track. It's got no exposed form as far as running on a heavy track over that kind of distance. So I'm going to clearly have Galaxy Warrior on top, but with that one question mark with the wet track, I'm definitely going to be having something at long odds on number 5 Trying and number 6 Assurity. Assurity has that fantastic jockey change, which I'm very keen on, plus it handles the wet.
Plus it had every possible hope. I was backed it the other day at Beaumont. Like, I know.
But this is a highway.
Look,
see, it's
honestly,
yeah.
I'm arguing with it. I want double that price.
Okay, no problem. And Trying?
No, couldn't have it.
But what's that?
Well, it's wide form. Wagga. We spoke about Wagga yesterday, and that thing got tailed up.
Yeah, okay, but I'm going off 2 starts back at Canberra, 1400 metres, heavy 10. You had to be, the closer to the outside fence you were, the better off you were.
So you're going to tell me this was on the inside?
No, it got very wide, but it took a split. But at Canberra, it's dead set outside fence. You know, you can be falling from the outside fence.
Yeah, you get blocked for a run on the outside fence.
Yeah. Mm. So I think at long odds it's got got a fairly decent chance.
What about your horse Lost a Sock? That you given up on him?
Yeah, given up on him. Yeah.
Gee, I could back it tomorrow night. I couldn't back it the other day. But I mean, that's me trying to be clever.
I don't know, bootlegging 100 to 1 winner.
Oh look, they're all shit races. Like, what about the fact that I think Galaxy Warrior actually ran in the worst of them, which was the Sassabee race. But I mean, they're all pretty bad. Obviously, S. Clinton lost a compass there in that race. She had trouble getting a run. Since had a spell and gone to Narromine, where ran surprisingly poor figures for a big.
But the times on the day were all poor, weren't they?
Well, there was some fast times and some really slow times, so I don't know what to make of that. Look, I'm saying 4 to 1, and on top, the horse that I've been waiting for, he's been scratched, the barrier's been scratched, blah, blah, blah. Grand Rouge, very one-batting, but it's just got a sequence of highway runs that
I had a second look at it, and it's just a horse that I'm sick of, because it half been found and sort of reasonably solid in the market previous starts, and I've just sort of had enough. But you did mention earlier on that the best form for highway races is running in highway races, and this definitely ticking that box. So yeah, but look at the anyway, it's an icky race.
Right, so we'll finish off with race 5, come home with the legs of the quaddie in part 2, and it's a very, very good looking race at this stage. Saritsa is our favourite, resuming off a short break there at $3.60. Sorry, I should mention Burning Passion is actually favourite at $3.50, who's had his customary trial in between runs. $5.50 the ever-winning Super Tycoon, $8.50 Tester Shadow, $11 Torgerson, $13 Zinzanetti, and 20's Bar there. Burning Passion obviously gets hard up on the speed here at 1400. Balmain Boy being prominent. Gold Symphony up to 1400 on a quick backup with Winkers on. I had on the speed. Decision Time is drawn out wide, as is Tester Shadow, and they can be pushing on. Zinzanetti is hoping for his midfield position, and the others off them. So good tempo here despite 10 horse field. 3
chances in the race. The first look I had, I thought Zarich was an absolute moral. Yet again, I'm going to mention the fact that first up over 1400 metres on a wet track is probably the only question mark. It's clearly the best horse in the race. If it's anywhere near fit, it wins. Saying that, I'm not necessarily going to be backing it because, I mean, what can you say about Super Tycoon? It just keeps on getting the job done, doesn't it?
None tomorrow, Super Tycoon, no hope.
Really?
Well, look, it did win on. There was only horse to win on the inside the other day, but I just think that was a god awful race, and there's 2 horses in this race, Saritsa and Burning Passion, that have better chances. No, I'm not saying he's got none, but I think that last time was actually a better opportunity for Super Tycoon than this time.
You know that Burning Passion. I mean, I don't know whether Cummings has become absolutely obsessed with this freshen up and trial because he had a little bit of success a few months ago with it. Doesn't seem to be coming off quite as well these days, but obviously when he does that, it's a sign of intent. So I'd suggest they're really having a crack with Burning Passion. But yeah, yet again, I'm still going to, even with that one question mark about Zaritza, let's say it wasn't a heavy track tomorrow, I had it as an even money chance. Now, because of the heavy track, I don't know where I'm going to go as far as price.
All right. So you're still happy with it, but you don't want to reserve.
I've got a couple of morals later on in the program.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Wait for. Yeah.
Beauty. Well, look, I'm keen on Burning Passion. Obviously, Saritsa had as a danger. Gold Symphony, I want to say, will run a race tomorrow. Balmain Boy is an interesting resumer, and Torgerson was he's too tight at this stage, but had no chance where he found himself the other day. Obviously, Super Tycoon has a chance. Tester Shadow, I imagine the intent will be, the camp will be very much deflated tomorrow. Oh, up the 7 kilos with the monster weight. Tester Shadow. It went well first up.
I was just so surprised first up. But I mean, as you said, intentions of stables with weights is a good indicator of how hard they're going to be trying. But yeah, I'm giving it.
Oh, look, he's become a marvel, Tester Shadow, and I don't want to write him off there, but just think that the stable will be not keen. And obviously that's critical second up, because it's not like it's a horse that's in the middle of its preparation and it's on autopilot.
Not one of my horses.
Anyway, 9 from me and a really interesting race. That's the end of part 1. We'll be back with the quaddy legs for Chelmsford Stakes Day, Randwick on Racing Rant.
And cracking races they are.